Well, I was talking on China, and let me continue on China and its possible potential uh, ability to become the new hegemonic power. When this was actually discussed in one of the conferences I attended in the United States, there was a very um, well um, economist who was very excited, and he said, well, tell me a basic invention that has been created in China in last 100 years, basically. So, what is needed to uh, become a hegemonic power, and is a big question, and especially when we are talking on inventions, which are also mostly, not always, but mostly done by the large corporations. Well, whether development come first, and only after being hegemony we become head of inventions. In the world might be a question by itself. But a trend is visible. Uh, China becoming production center of the world, and whether this trend will, well, primarily the question was whether this trend will continue. But today the question is whether this trend will bring China all the way to become the superior economic power is a question. And in one sense, actually, China was its culture was basically a culture which makes the communication with other cultures difficult, and economic interaction with China, especially China becoming the basic country which is guiding other people's development, was not something easy. But China has made some ways, created some paths for this. Actually, there's even a program, One Belt One Road initiative, and in many ways now it has some organization power in the global economic system also, and it also is using its state and its capitalist businesses together to create these programs through which China is helping, China is guiding or promoting other countries' economies, and, well, helping them to become uh, developed, basically. So that's one way actually China has made an important step, has taken an important step to become a global hegemony. But then China, because it's a large country, it has become, according to some measure, the country where the highest production level is highest. But still, uh, it is in terms of the basic GDP per capita uh, variable, it is still a developing country. So we are talking of a country which has not become a developed country, according to the traditional measures at least, to become the world economic power. Although, to be honest, when United States was start to challenge the England, neither England nor United States has overcome them. Um, the uh, well, poverty in their own country, and to some extent, actually, poverty has returned to both countries also. But the poverty is other thing. The country, the China, even though extreme poverty, as we have seen in the chart, is not anymore existing in China. Still, there are significant portion of people who are living in poor conditions, according to the most conventional way of defining poverty, which is poverty line, basically. And then, of course, the state's role of the economy and how this role is playing out is also discussed. Whether China is providing a new model, or at some point the state role in the economic system will create a break for China's development, is a discussion by itself. But state's role has been there more or less in all East Asian development models, even those who have rise to the level of the developed countries. So those are some questions on the challenge created by China and whether there can be a Chinese hegemony in the world economic system can be discussed through these, let's say, questions, and certainly there are also some other ones. So, well, then there are other countries which are mentioned. Russia is certainly a country which doesn't have impressive development growth rates, but still economically it is an important player, and you can see especially the natural resources it has maintained as an important player. India, Brazil, and South Africa both had once high growth rates, which also put them into potential candidates of becoming leading global economic powers. All of these countries have significant poverty rates, even if they have democracy. Actually, all of these four have some form of democracy, but those democracies are problematic in one sense or the other. But economically, they also, to some extent, are challenging the existing developing countries. Although, except India, the growth rates of the Brazil, Russia, and South Africa are kind of they are not continuous. But India itself also has, in recent year, able to maintain a high growth rate for a long time. And all these countries, there are interesting articles. I can suggest you also the articles. I mean, if there are certain ones you are interested in, I'm interested especially in Brazil, among those four countries especially. But if there is anyone that you find especially interesting, I encourage you to look further, read more on that country. So these are, well, this is our last slide. So consequences of integration of the world economy and financialization. What are they? And this increasing call of isolation in the world, are they mere reactions, or what do they signify? Will they create a new form of integration, basically, which takes into account calls of certain people who are harmed by the integration, and inequality, this problem, and how it will be dealt with once actually it was celebrated as the proof that the more productive people are getting more from the system. Now it is a recognized problem, and how this problem will be tackled, it's another question. So we will return to somehow at some point to the Marshall's economic world, where basically market is basically shaping or regulating the economic system, and institutions are just creating the groundwork to market to work. Are certain problems, certain reactions to the market economy just, some reactions that will ultimately go away? That's one question. Are we transforming the existing economic system into a new system? This, especially the breakdown of the institutions, means that, we are in a transitional process, and a new economic system with new institutions at global level as well as national level will be formed. Or are we living a breakdown of the existing system, and maybe a new system might be found? And of course, transformation of the existing system and breakdown of the existing system can be taught at different levels. Both can be true. For example, capitalist system still exists after 1945, but in some ways we might still say the UK-based economic system, capitalist system, has broken down. So in some ways, at a greater level, you might say the system is transforming, but at a relatively more limited, in a more limited sense, we might still say the system has break down. To what extent transformation? We can talk on a transformation. To at what level we can talk, and at what level we can talk on a breakdown. Those are some questions we might ask on our future. I'm ending this presentation here. Although at the very end of our course, I will come back to the question where we are headed. Now, in the coming lectures, we will talk on the data. We have talk on theory in most abstract sense, and overlooked to both data and theories in general. And then we will have seen the history of the evolution of the world economic system. Now we will look to the different parts of the world economic system, and as much as possible we will bring both theory, data, history, and institutions and current problems related to them, each part of the world economic system, each aspect of the world economic system. So, starting with the next lecture, we will start discussing those, starting with the international financial system, basically, and monetary system. So, see you in the next lecture, and as always, I hope you will stay healthy.